rewriting the story of your life from abandonment to success. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you achieve, it's never enough? Like deep down, you're still chasing something that was missing from your childhood. Today, I'm going to tell you a true story that will show you exactly why that happens and how to finally break free. Hi, I'm Sarah Wheeler, life strategist. I help you break free from past wounds, self-sabotaging patterns, and emotional cycles that keep you stuck. If you've ever felt abandoned, overlooked, or like you've been chasing validation your whole life, then this video is what you need to hear. So I'd like you to imagine you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle. You've built the whole picture: success, stability, a good life. But there's one missing piece. No matter how much you have, all you can focus on is the gap. That's what happens when we hold on to childhood wounds. We ignore the beautiful picture we've built and obsess over the one thing we feel we lost. So let's look at the childhood wound and pattern creation. Let me tell you about someone I've worked with. He grew up in a turbulent home where love felt conditional and security was fleeting. His parents struggled, and by the time he was 5, he and his siblings were placed into foster care. One by one, the others were taken back. But he wasn't. He remained in the system, moving from house to house, never feeling like he truly belonged anywhere. Just imagine being that child, watching your brothers and sisters return home while you were left behind. The message wasn't spoken, but it was loud. You weren't chosen. So let's look at the false belief formed. I'm not good enough, or they would have kept me. That wound embedded itself deep in his unconscious mind. It became the script running his entire life. Every rejection, every failure, every broken relationship, all traced back to that one belief. It played out in self-sabotage, in pushing people away before they could leave him first. It played out in needing to prove himself, but never feeling satisfied. Because how can you ever prove you're good enough when you don't believe it yourself? So how did that play out in his life? He sought structure in the military, and as soon as he was old enough, he signed up for the army, desperate to belong somewhere, to find order in the chaos of his early years. He went on and excelled in his training, but emotionally he struggled. The weight of the past rejection was still there. He suffered from anger and emotional outbursts. His emotions were raw and he had trouble regulating them. One night while he was stationed overseas, a heated altercation changed everything for him. His reaction was fast, instinctive, but it cost him. What should have been a minor incident escalated, and suddenly he was discharged. Just like before, he was sent away again. He turned to alcohol to numb the feelings of this abandonment. Relationships came and went, but the pattern was always the same. He would dive in fast, hoping to be chosen this time, but as soon as any crack showed, he would either sabotage it or retreat. But eventually, he managed to build something: a business, a home, financial security. From the outside, it all looked like he had won, but deep inside, he still felt like the child who wasn't picked. So the breaking point came. A chance for closure one day. A message arrived. His birth mother had reached out. For the first time in decades, she wanted to talk, but he decided to ignore it, convinced it was too late. But then weeks later, she passed away. The opportunity for him was gone, and the weight of that regret hit him harder than anything else. That childhood wound, the one he had spent his life running from, came crashing back. But this time, he couldn't drown it out. He couldn't drown it out with work, success, or even alcohol. He had to face it. And that's when the shift happened. Seeing reality for what it is, he came to me and told me his story. And I asked him, if you could go back and take your mother's offer, do you think it would have healed you? He thought about it. And the truth? Probably not. Because healing doesn't come from the people who hurt you. It comes from you. And I told him, I understand why you feel this way, but let's look at the reality of what actually happened. His siblings went back to that unstable home, but their lives didn't flourish. His own path, though, painful, led him to build something meaningful. He had spent his whole life believing that he was lost, when in reality, he had survived and thrived. He just never gave himself the credit for it. So the key takeaway from all of this is that your past does not define you, but the way you choose to see it does. If you spend your life staring at the missing piece of the puzzle, you will never see the full picture of what you have built. So, are you holding on to a childhood wound that keeps you stuck? Drop me a comment below and let me know, what story do you need to reframe? And if this message spoke to you, please hit my like buttons and subscribe to my channel, please, because I've got more coming that will help you change the way you see your past and how you view your future. Until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye.